I take you to one part of your statement here that I take personally because I happen to represent the city of Chicago, and I'm honored to represent that city.
I know you are.
What happened in Las Vegas was tragic and awful and heartbreaking. 59 people killed, over 500 wounded by gunshots in just a brief period of time with some military-type weapon. It was just awful, horrific, and disgusting. Having said that, so far this year, 3,000 people have been injured by gunshot in the city of Chicago, and over 500 have been killed. This is not something that is a political debate in my heart. It breaks my heart to think what the families are going through in this city that I represent. The superintendent of police who's worked there, and you gave credit to local law enforcement, I'm glad you did, I join you in that. He's worked in that police department for 30 years. I want to read to you what he said. The federal government's plans, the terminating of burned grant funds, will hamper community policing and undermine the work our men and women have done to reduce shootings by 16% so far this year. And this is the sentence I want to focus on. If I've said it before and I'll say it again. Undocumented immigrants are not driving violence in Chicago. And that's why I want our officers focused on community policing and not trying to be immigration police. The money we are going to get, we hope to get, from the federal government for burn grants, we're putting into a program called ShotSpotter. You probably know what that is. But it's a monitoring device in our city, block by block, that can tell instantaneously when a gun has been shot. And so our police can respond instantaneously to try to get the shooters and to save the life of the victim. You want to cut back these funds because you want the city of Chicago to play the role of immigration police on federal civil laws. Mr. Attorney General, you're not helping us solve the murder problem in the city of Chicago by taking away these federal funds. And the superintendent says that your pursuit of undocumented immigrants has little or nothing to do with gun violence in Chicago.
Well, Chicago is a great city. It's got many good things going for it. I do think this murder rate is a cloud over the city, and it looks like this year may be even higher murder rate than last year. Good community-based policing is absolutely essential for this. I'm worried about the health and morale of the Chicago Police Department. We'd like to see that improved. I think the politicians cannot say that if you remove a violent criminal from America that's illegally in the country and he's arrested by the Chicago police and put in the Chicago jail, that once they're released, they shouldn't be turned over to the federal ICE officers so they can be removed from the country. They were here illegally to begin with, much less commit another crime, and then should not be. How does that make the city of Chicago safer when you don't remove criminals who are illegally in the country?
You can't give an opening statement throwing a bouquet to local police and then ignore what the superintendent of police in Chicago tells you has nothing to do with gun violence. You want to cut off federal funds to that city and come here and criticize the murder rate.
I have increased the number of ATF agents to prosecute gun crimes in Chicago by 12, which is quite a large number, more than any other city, I believe. Yes. We're not, the United States government can't take over law enforcement for the city of Chicago. We're not doing it for New York. We're not doing it for a lot of other places.
Nor can the city of Chicago
we have made
take over
a surge of ATF agents to Chicago, and we'll continue to work with you. I do not want to not have grants go to Chicago, but we need their support. When somebody's arrested in the jail that's due to be deported, we just simply ask that they call us so we can come by and pick them up if they need to be removed. That's not happening, and we've got to work through it some way.